Okay, so this video I want to go over a couple of things that are fun to apply while sitting, since a lot of us are doing a lot of sitting right now, unfortunately, unless you're constantly standing up at home or laying down. Um, if you have a chair, this is best used with a chair that has a firmer back, usually like a dinner table, or you can even use a wall if you want to use a wall as well. But I'm gonna use a chair with the higher back. And the reason why I do this is because what we're gonna be doing is a upper neck, shoulder, well, basically a neck, shoulder, and scapula mobility movement while tensing the ribs. Now, what the ribs do, oftentimes, is they will is a not compromise, but compensate. Excuse me, compensate for the lack of mobility in oftentimes the shoulders, because most people don't put their hands above their head or don't do a strict hand pressing type of exercise. A lot of times compensating with the breathing. And this is also a factor with anxiety. High breathing is if we're constantly in this higher upper type of breathing instead of a lower type of expansion, but also disconnect with being able to compress the ribs. Compression of the ribs also engages the tummy. So we're going to do a couple of things with the ribs while doing the movement, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is feel our ribs. So if I breathe out and I feel my ribs go down, well, that feeling of my ribs going down actually lets my back muscles that run up and down my spine kind of elongate. Then I'm going to tuck my hips under and kind of pull my ribs, my tummy, my belly button to my spine. That's the second way. Then the third way is going to be a little bit of a crunch with the top abs. The fourth one is going to be the extra, and that's going to be the pelvic floor or Kegel type of tensing. That's going to be challenging because people sometimes can't find the Kegel. Pelvic floor dysfunction is something that's very common. Basically, if you were to hold your pee or poo, you can find that tension, okay? So I'm going to hold those areas, okay? That's why I'm going to hold that, because this needs to be stable in order for these to be mobile. When this is too mobile or loose, no tension there, then the body looks for stability in the shoulders and the hips, okay? So getting a tight tummy is not just for aesthetics, but also for mobility application, okay? So, and the core, the core is also your head involvement, because the placement of where my head is going to be indicative to how my tension is building, okay? So I'm going to bring my ribs down, pull my belly button in, pull my hips under me, okay? You might not be able to see this, but feel, and then pull in the pelvic floor. First movement, I want to depress my shoulder blades and pull them back. I want to feel like my shoulder blades are just pulling back and down this entire time, okay? They're not going to be shrugging up. I want to keep them down, okay? Now I'm going to open my hands as wide as I can, and then I'm going to bring my elbows up to the sky. My hands are wide open, my tummy's down, my shoulder blades are pulling back, my shoulders, this round part here, is pulling back and down as much as possible. I'm already feeling a stretch in my hands, because that my arms and hands get kind of tense. Okay, from here, we're going to bring our arms up, keeping the hands straight as possible, arms straight as possible, keeping all those tensions that we already put in. Hands together, elbows straight as much as you can, and then bringing the hands down while controlling all of that. Then I'm going to push up, keeping the shoulder blades down, feeling that tension right there. The shoulders deltoids down as I extend and my arms facing up. And then I bring it back up again. This is already a hard core workout. You'd think it'd be shoulders, but it's more core because my body wants to compensate for the lack of mobility in this position. I want to push my elbows straight as I can without showing up the shoulders, and then bring it down. Next one, I'm going to come up, back around, and then I'm going to hold my position there. Okay? Now I'm going to move on to my neck mobility, which is kind of a figure eight. Okay? So the figure eight is going to be, I'm going to keep my shoulders down. I'm going to turn my head one direction, chin down, tuck. Then I'm going to turn my head to the upper corner of the opposite end, and then tuck my head down without raising the shoulder to the opposite side, without losing the crunch. Look again. One side, I think it's a little bit easier than the other one, as expected. And I come back, my arms here, keeping my arms in place. I'm going to choose one side. I can either lean this way, and I'm going to roll my arms, both arms, in and out. This helps the tissue of the deltoids, and that lays on top of the bicep and the tricep. Kind of get those to break up a little bit. And I'm to the other side, lean my head, opening up that brachial plexus, which is this area right here. Keeping my tummy tight, ribs down tight. Really hard to keep that pelvic floor down while I'm talking. And look straight. Now I'm going to go back to my first one. Maybe it's a little easier for you. Easier for me. I'm going to challenge my eyes now, because eye function while doing coordinated movements is one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people. People will start to, when they're trying to connect to their body, their eyes will do a lot of interesting things. Their eyes will go to the easiest place of compensation. Now I'm just doing random eye movements, challenging my brain. I don't want to have a particular area of strength where my eyes tend to go, because movement in random positioning is random eye movement. And already my arms, my upper body feels worked out because I'm moving weight, I'm moving my body. This requires no weights. This requires no equipment but a chair. And the cool thing about it is that when I stand up right now, my position of shoulder feels amazing. My back feels worked because I'm connecting to the area. This is a mobility strength in one, because I'm connecting to the areas of weakness or weaker areas, which are the back muscles, the ones that are right between your shoulder blades, and the lower trap, which helps the shoulder blades stay there, and getting mobility while pushing and feeling the discomforts in certain areas that you may not stretch as much as possible or often. But if we have the time to do this little thing with our heads, with our shoulders, up and around, just in this position here, without having to get up, Granted, there are better ones when you're stand up because you have more room to work. But this is just a bilateral, which in both sides, mobility. I guess you could call it buffet or variation that you can incorporate if you start to feel antsy, which is what I've been doing because I'm working on my computer. So I want to just get up and do something different. All right. Hopefully you enjoy that one. And comment below. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. And this will be on my YouTube. This is on the YouTube channel. So please subscribe.